think it's more beneficial if one is actually in the class while this is happening, because you're able to ask questions when you have challenges. You're able to engage the class practically. Usually people think they're usually time, but you observe that that time that is available is not really available. So what is best is that you are available when the class is up. Okay, so I think I will start recording now. The only thing I'm trying to do now is probably to get the class live on YouTube. But then in order not to waste time, I think I just do that in the course of the class. I think the very first thing I like to do is once again to reinforce our vision to the entire Certified STEM Instructors Program class here of 2021. It's going to be the first batch we're going to be doing this year. And beyond that, I believe that there are other, probably one or two that will still come before the end of this year, depending on the scale of what we are able to do with this very first batch. But then our vision is to ensure that every African child has a STEM or digital skill before graduation from school. And that is why it's an educators program. It's meant for those who are interested in helping kids acquire digital or tech skills before they graduate from school. And that is why it is very, very crucial to national development. Okay, but then beyond that, beyond our vision, what would we expect in this training? So basically, I think the core of why we're here is what we're going to be discussing now. Why this program, and then what are the expectations that will make this program a rewarding one. Those are some of those things we're going to be coming up with in a moment. Okay, sorry, I'm trying to take the meeting online to YouTube. Okay, I think I just upload the one that's recorded on my laptop after the section, so that we can have a full and robust recording since the class already started. Okay, so I just move on. I hope we can still see my screen. So yes. What should we expect? What should we expect in the program? Of course, it's going to be a project-based training. Every class is going to be accompanied by a series of assignments and projects that you need to do. And those assignments, those projects you need to engage, of course, will take even more time that you're going to be spending in class. So take, for instance, classes are going to be holding on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturday, depending on the class, depending on the instructor. On each of the classes, you are going to be having the first class. Some of the instructors too are here, and they'll be telling us the schedule for the class directly. Okay, but then it's going to be during the week. The classes are going to be divided into three. One on Tuesday, one on Wednesday, depending on the course. One is Wednesday, Thursday. Then, of course, I think for Scratch, there's an opportunity to have a class on Saturday evening. Why we're putting the classes in the evening so that people would have returned from work, and even on weekend, people would have returned from probably you have a wedding ceremony or you have anything to attend to on the weekend. You can easily attend to them, and then by the time you are back, you can engage the class. And even if you have time during the day, what you would have used that time to do is to ensure that you are properly prepared for the program, for the class. Because, for instance, from day one that you start the class, take, for instance, Scratch, from day one that you start Scratch, after the class, you have volumes of assignment to go through to ensure you're able to finish, because we're just having 4 hours to cover Scratch, and Scratch itself is very, very big. So, of course, the learning still continues even in the course of the program and even
you have unmuted yourself.
Hello?
We can hear you now.
Okay, sorry, I think the call disrupted. So, like I was saying, you are going to be needing time to gauge the projects that you're going to be given even after each class. 4 hours, but then the 4 hours is majorly to engage the instructor, to ask questions, and to get things done more quickly. So, but then the drilling down to ensure that you're able to get to the root of the courses is going to be principally done by you. Of course, we're going to be sharing course material. You're going to be having access to videos of each courses. You're also going to be having access to different resources that you can use to learn, both on YouTube, both on the web, and then you are going to be assessing, doing different projects together also with the instructor. The foundation will be properly developed so that you can really, really go far even on your own. But then I'm sure that if you're able to maximize the 4 hours period, and that is why you don't want to miss, for any reason, you don't want to miss any of the 4 hours engagement. It is very, very crucial. All right, so going forward, I've mentioned about the fact that it's project-based. We're also going to be having assessment. We're going to be having an assessment in the course of the program, and the instructors would be carrying that out. Assessment are not just going to be exams or probably projects that you are delivering. It also has to do with your interpersonal communication, the way you communicate, because, you know, you are trained to be an educator, and it's very important to see how you engage people, how you're able to also disperse knowledge, how you're able to communicate what you know. Very important. So we're going to be looking at your behavioral patterns, and then of course the projects. For instance, if you finish a 1 hour class and you're giving a project before the next class, are you able to cover it? Or you come back and say, hey, you know, I was busy all through the day, and then I was unable to do it. And you'll be expecting the class to drag back and wait for you, while other people have gone, sacrificed their own time, done the project, and then they are ready to move to the next thing. You want to drag them back. We're going to see such people, and then, of course, you know that somebody like that cannot be trusted for a project, or cannot be trusted with probably a class or something. So you want to be careful. Of even after the program, adding those people to our network, or adding them to people that we can recommend to schools or recommend to parents, or as it were, do projects together that are beyond boundaries. Okay, so assessment are going to be taking place. Another thing that's going to be happening after the 4 weeks program, we are going to be having a robotics training. The training is free, but of course, you have to be ready to buy your own personal robotics kits. Robotics is hands-on. You are going to be building stuffs. It's hands-on. We're going to be, after your training, we're going to introduce the packs to you. There are different categories. We're currently working on having our own branded robotics pack. And what that means is also business for every members of the current class. All right, because once it is ready, you can also begin to sell at a profit. We're going to be selling to you at almost the production price. So the implication of that, therefore, is that after the training also, beyond the fact that you can train students, you can also do business. And of course, you know, many parents are looking to buy robotics kits for their children and all of that. They're looking for robotics experts. And so you're getting the training for free. But of course, you need to buy the robotics set yourself so that you can practice it and you can engage in the process of the class. What more? Okay, so after the training, of course, we're going to be having projects. We're going to be having group projects. All right, even in the course of the class, depending on the course or the strategy of the instructor, we're going to be having group projects. But then the project I'm talking about this time around is, I'm talking specifically about the project that you will do at the end of your training. We're going to be dividing you guys into groups. It will be a group of 3 people or a group of 4 people. You're going to look at a project that you're going to work on together. It could be a community project. It could mean that if you are living in the same area, it could mean that you guys probably organize a weekend free tech discussion or kind of an info section. Of course, there are different projects that could be done, but then it could mean that you are gathering children in the neighborhood, or that are gathering children in the community. It could be churches and all of that. Introduce them to tech and tell them about opportunities that girls make it. I mean, there's a lot of statistics that is still showing that women are still far behind as far as technology is concerned, far behind in terms of population, in terms of engagement, in terms of the percentage of ladies or girls that are in tech or that are in STEM. Okay, so of course, the projects that will come in that respect will be celebrated. We never can tell. Some of these projects will even be your launch pad. Some of the projects could be your launch pad to starting something that is global, starting something that when you write for some people that want to travel out to Canada, because I think at this time there are plenty of people that want to go to Canada. All right. So and I've been hearing a number of people who are discussing that with me. But then, take for instance, you have somebody who wants to travel out. I mean, you do a project that is of such magnitude. What happens is you have a story to tell, and then you don't get to the embassy, or you are not writing your application, and they are not listening to you. They will listen. So, of course, that gives you a priority. That places you on the priority list, because countries are looking for people who have skills in this area. That's the truth. Okay, so you want to do projects that is transforming, and that why I'm mentioning this at the beginning is important. It's important to begin to think about such projects that you want to do. It could be school partnership also. Your own projects could just mean that before the end of second term, the second term will be ending sometimes in April 2 or something. Before the resumption of third term, I want to be able to close at least 4 schools in my neighborhood. Because I tell you, virtual class is good, organizing camps is good, but then the truth is that when it comes to revenue, when it comes to business side, school is still the most recurring form of revenue for this stuff. All right, you're able to sign up just 4 schools before third term begins, or before the first term in September begins. You're able to sign 5 schools. Make it a goal for yourself. I'm signing up 5 schools in my neighborhood or in places where I know people that get me in. And you're able to describe what you're doing. Of course, if you need, we can work together to execute that, because of course we're going to be working as partners to get that done, and so that you can deliver it at the very best and at a premium form, so that the school is appreciative of it, and then they are also able to participate in some of the large style programs that are going to be organizing competitions, and then also giving them exposure. So yeah, that could be your own goal. That hey, we're closing 4 schools, at least 4 schools with at least 50 students. Okay, there are schools that have up to 100 students. There are schools that have up to 70 students. You have very tangible number, but school fees in those schools are very, very premium. And then you want to be able to pitch the program to the school. Even if the school is not having money, it's a public school, but then you can engage maybe a counselor or a local government chairman, or you can engage somebody who's going to be aspiring in 2023. Somebody's going to be aspiring for an office in 2023 for that project, to sponsor the project. All you need is to partner with the CBT center, all right? And then every Saturday, public school students come into the CBT center and you make it happen. All right? Take pictures, make stuff happen. We also push it, we drive behind you, we work together to make it happen. Before you know it, it's a big deal. So they're going to be putting him at the end of the training, and that will form a critique of what finally makes you a STEM educator. Of course, by the time you have gone through all the activities, the implication therefore is that, because along the line, as you are starting class today too, it's important that you begin to tell the story of what you're doing. Go to LinkedIn, write about what your experience is today. What's the new thing you learned? Let them know that you have commenced a program called Certified STEM Instructors Program, or that you are going to be becoming a certified STEM educator in a couple of weeks. All right. You want to write about it, and then from there, your next opportunity could land from there. Or the next client, the next parent who will recommend you for something, or who will want you to come and start training their children will come. So that's why it's important to tell your story, leverage on your WhatsApp status, leverage on your Facebook page. Whatever area you are on social media that you have strength, leverage. But then I'm expecting everybody to have a LinkedIn account. If you don't have a LinkedIn account, you are wrong. Notice there, you can also check me up on LinkedIn. Okay. Though my status, I need to see review, I need to review my profile. It's already, some of the information there is last year. But then I'm telling you, also create a LinkedIn account. I've gotten a number of opportunities on LinkedIn, and you don't want to miss out. So it's important that you tell the story of what you are going to be going through in the course of the class. As you do projects, as you are collaborating with your colleagues here, you want to tell the story. You want to share the picture of the project you are working on. You want to tell the world about your vision. Because yes, the vision of the organization to you, why we are doing this and why we believe it's going to be big. We want every African child to at least a digital skill before they graduate from school. Of course. So even if you have, if it's a problem you have encountered or that has happened to you before, which is a motivation for you to say, I have to be part of this so that I can train kids. You don't want to waste time without telling the story. You want to ensure that the whole world hears about it. That this is why you are doing this. You are motivated beyond even the money. All right. So very crucial. I cannot emphasize that so that we can be very well prepared. All right. So I hope we are following. If you are getting me, if you are following, or you are enjoying the class, I need you to say yes. We are following.
Yes, I'm following. I'm following.
Very well.
Very well,
keep
sir.
moving. Let's
I'm following.
let's the chat. Let's use the chat so that our voice is not colliding. Great. Okay, thanks everyone. Yeah. So so today basically is majorly the orientation. Okay, and that is why we are doing this, so as to tell us about the program and to have us have knowledge about what to expect and everything. So that's basically what's happening today. Normally, this is supposed to take place 10 a.m. tomorrow. Then we decided to reschedule to this evening so that we can just comment, and then you can have tomorrow to rest. When the class will fully start, it's going to be a lot of work for you for the next week. You don't want to really do it again. But then if you really want to be engaged, it's going to be very, very engaging. It's going to be it's going to take time. Try as much as possible to begin to clear time now. Begin to clear time on your schedule. You need to, just ensure that you have at least book 8 hours per week. At least 8 hours per week for this program. At least. If you can create 16 hours per week for this, extra hours or 12 hours. All right. And of course, because of the projects that are going to be happening, we're going to be choosing leaders. They are going to be, so you can also coordinate your group. And of course, those are also signals that will show who and who is really, really ready. All right. So so I've mentioned what to expect. What are some upcoming programs that we are also planning? Okay, so we have robotics bootcamp. We have a robotics bootcamp that is coming very, very soon. Okay, so we have a robotics bootcamp that is coming in April. We're planning on working on a robotics bootcamp in April. Of course, in that April, that's when you're also going to be getting trained. Sometimes in the end of March or April is when you're going to be getting trained for robotics also. But then there's going to be a robotics bootcamp for children. And we're currently working on getting new robotic sets into the country that are perfectly branded. So there's going to be a robotics bootcamp. So there's going to be Star Bootcamp, school. Of course, there's going to be a school race in the sense that we need to add to the cluster of schools that we have. All right. So that by the time we are planning the makers competition or championship before the end of the year, we can have a pool of schools who are participating in that league. All right. But then beyond school partnership, there's a summer coding camp that is coming. Everybody who is part of this will need to immerse in the summer coding program. You are either joining a team to participate in the program plan or to really prepare yourself to be a solid instructor, a go-to instructor during the summer. Of course, everybody's going to be teaching during the summer, depending on the pool of kids. And it also depends on the strategy we are using to generally market. So somewhere or the other, beyond your teaching, you're also going to be involved in also telling people about this, marketing this activity, also trying to sign up a child or sign up a school. So there's going to be a school drive, there's going to be parent drive, all of this coming here. But then summer coding camp coming. If you are not in Lagos, if you are in other states in the country, okay, where coding is not really something that is being done so on, you need to start creating networks that will help you successfully plan a code camp. All right, you may need to start looking for schools or church, even church that you can use their center. Just you are requesting for just 2 hours per week to use their center, and you're giving some free training for probably 2 or 3 children who are best. Or you can first start with a seminar, something that you are free. Every children come, you impress them, show them what is happening in technology, tell them about some of the big guys now in tech, Elon Musk, Bill Gates, everything, and then show them some few lines of code and tell them that they can make stuff happen. All right. Then the next step is then you are giving 2 people. So you could have been part of the package that you are sending to the church when you are marketing them. 2 people scholarship, free to participate. Every other person, you are giving them partial scholarship, you are slashing it for them. So I'm already giving you some strategy ahead so that people can start thinking even before the class commence. Okay? And this is important because this is what creates value for you after the training. Okay, so that's that about what can happen. What else? Okay, yeah. So let's dive in now. Let's dive in just a brief. For some of us that have attended our webinars, I've spoken about STEM education, but I want to be sure that we are internalizing some of these things. And then I've not just been talking Hebrews in all of the webinars we have organized in the past. So that's the next slide I'm supposed to move on to, but I'll not be moving on to it now. Can somebody just tell me about STEM education? So if you are saying anything about STEM education and you want us to recognize you, please just use the chat and say, I like to give a comment or hi or something just to engage. I need somebody to tell us about STEM education. We've discussed it about twice in our past webinars. Okay, yes, Amos, please unmute and you have the floor.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yeah, from STEM education, from what I've learned in the previous webinar, is a platform where students or young children between the ages of, should I say, from 5 to 18 or 7 to 18, learn the skills of science, the application of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics in using codes and programming. So how they can use what they've learned in their classroom to solve real life problems and apply them, how they can make what they're learning theoretically practical. So the ability to learn is what I know as a STEM education.
Fantastic. Fantastic. So I think that's it. Thank you for that very nice presentation. Who else wants to try? Who else wants to give us some knowledge? Do we have any other person who wants to tell us something? Hi.
Hello.
Yeah, you can go on. You can go on.
Who, me? Unoma?
Yes.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Unoma. I'm a teacher. I work in Kenya right now. And my specialty is English and special educational needs anyway. What I know about STEM is, the infusion of science and technology in learning. The introduction of science, technology, engineering, and maths into all aspects of learning, and a bigger focus on them than was there in the past. That's what I understand, which is why I'm on this course. I want to know more about it and how I can apply it in my setting. Anyway.
Great. Okay. Thank you, Noma. Who else wants to try one more? Okay, I think I see Josh. Josh, all right, go on. Good evening.
Good evening. My name is Ebenezer.
Okay, yeah, Ebenezer.
Yes, I want to say something concerning STEM education. To me, I believe it's a method of using science and technology, engineering and mathematics to educate the young mind, prepare them for the future, to help them to solve real life problems using technology.
Okay. So I think that's a very great one from you and from everybody that have already given their thoughts. I think we all gave something nice about STEM education. So I'll just talk about it briefly. I like the definition. I like the explanation of Amos. I like that of Norma and Ebenezer also, and every other person presented. But then, if you can see my screen right now, STEM education is okay. Okay. I just want to confirm if my screen is on. Okay, so STEM education is an interdisciplinary or applied approach to teaching and learning. All right. So usually people that it's a separation of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Of course, it is still an acronym for that, but in this case, it is an experiential, creating the whole and experiential knowledge for a child. So when you look at, for instance, this bottle, okay, this bottle when it was created had some engagement of technology in the production of the bottle, or even in getting the water out of the ground. There's some science. There's a mix of science, technology, and engineering. The machine that produced these has some. So for you to get anything new out, we are using Zoom right now, sitting more on technology, all right? But then even the technology itself has some roots in science. So the underlying factor is that I'm trying to paint the foundation of why STEM education is so defined, all right? Is that you need a mix of all these four aspects to be able to get innovation, to be able to build something new, to be able to come up with solutions. You wouldn't be able to develop solution or problem solving driven to without having an element of these four subject matters: science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Even as a lawyer, as a finance person, right now we know that technology, for instance, is beginning to take the book. All right, so the mobile apps, they are tech solutions that are beginning to solve problems in this respect, and that's why basically it's becoming important to help children get this experience before they finish school. So it is, from what I wrote here, it integrates the learning paradigm based on reward application. So there's project based, it's experiential, experimental, and it's hands-on solving ability to be able to see a problem rather than create theories around it, be able to practically get the knowledge you have acquired to solve problems in that respect. Okay, so that's about STEM. There are, of course, different teaching methods. Okay, there are different teaching methods. Of course, probably at the end of the training again, at the end of the 4 weeks or 6 weeks, we may do a refresher knowledge about some of these things, but it's just important to discuss it at the beginning so that as you are learning, you have this at the back of your heart, and then you are also able to be well prepared ahead for what you are learning this for. Okay. Of course, I know there are other individuals who are also in this class who probably didn't come because it's for STEM educators who just want to acquire coding knowledge. Who wants to rival up their code. The core of the training is actually for people who want to become an educator. So this is very important. So what are teaching methods are available? There is something called a teacher-centered approach. There's a student-centered approach, and there's a project-based approach. Of course, there are other approaches to teaching, but then if you look at the teacher-centered approach that we have here, it's formal authority, expert-driven. It's a personal model. When you look at the student model who's talking, there is a delegator. So you're able to get students, for instance, talk. You're able to delegate them to groups, get them even teaching themselves and all of that. So it's a form of cooperative learning. Inquiry-based, students can ask questions. You don't yell at them, like what we have majorly in our universities, where lecturers they are terrors, as it were. So, but then where are we going? We're looking at, when we're talking about STEM education, it's more project-based. Of course, the student is at the center of it, but then it's more project-based. The student is at the center of it, so it's intertwined. Students are allowed, you don't want to start a class, for instance, and then you are starting theory. You don't want to lose the students in the first 30 minutes. Say, for instance, you're organizing a boot camp in your locality, okay? one of the very first things you want to start with is everybody is thrilled when they use their computer, when they are typing, when they are trying to do something. So you are quickly able to show them some magic. And then probably take, for instance, in Scratch now, you want to show them Scratch. You are not coming to tell them the history of Scratch, how Scratch was started in the year 2000 and something, how it was developed in MIT, how this is the professor that did it. Those are theories. If you start with that, you will spend almost 1 hour talking about that, and you will lose the students. All right. Before you now build them back to interest, back to labor. Okay. But just imagine, even though you are still going to tell them some of those things because of your teaching, you are starting the class, and so everybody, you have your laptops here, put it on. Everybody puts on the laptop. Today we are here for this. I mean, show them around Scratch. Just give them some brief understanding of what the tabs are, what the codes are going to be using are, and then you say we want to get this stuff. How many of you are ready? You have to get them talking. You have to get them involved. You have to get them engaged. Their mouths have to open. Their hands have to be working. Project based. Okay. How many of you are ready? They don't really have an understanding of how this stuff is going to work first, but you want to thrill them. You want to make them excited. You want to bring them into the system, into the program. So, and then within the first 30 minutes, they have been able to make something happen. Everybody will be excited. That theory you wanted to start with, they will go and look for it. If you give them an assignment that before you are coming the next class, please ensure you know where Scratch programming started, who are the proponents and everything. I'm telling you, they will look for it. Because what? You have gotten them into the stuff. Rather than making it theory-based and all of that, interest is bought. Okay, so I wouldn't want to waste time too much on that. But of course, you should also know that there are going to be presentations after the class, after the program, in some sense. Even in some classes, there may be presentations. All right, so you should learn how to ensure that if you are teaching as an educator, as a STEM educator, your class must be highly interactive. Your class must be highly project-driven. Students must be able to think. It has to be creatively. You have to engage creativity, as it were. Students must be able to think. All right, you must be able to give them, paint a scenario, and then get them think about that scenario and produce a solution to it. Those are very, very critical highlights of STEM education. Students must be able to think. They must be able to see a problem and attempt to solve it. All right, based on, of course, probably some guides you've given to them and all of that. So, yeah, I think our time is almost going up. So let me just rush through. I'm almost done anyway. So, what are the coding or robotics courses for kids? All right, we want to teach kids, we want to engage them, we want to really take this big and all of that. But then, what are the courses? Of course, they feel that we are engaging in this program that we feel are very fundamental. But then, every of these courses, they are something that is you can engage. It's not difficult. Once you have the fundamentals, once you have gotten in, you have developed the interest, you have also started out with some, you can easily pick other ones on your own, and then you start learning it. Because I've seen a lot of people that say, are we not going to do App Inventor? Are we not going to do this one? Are we not going to do that one? We can't do everything in 4 weeks. But of course, once you get the core, all right, you can always learn those ones on yourself. And there are usually different STEM competitions, coding competitions across the year, nationally and internationally. That's you also want to be able to take students through and all of that. So, okay. So, what are the top programming robotics courses for kids? The Scratch program is usually the foundation. The Scratch Junior, there's the Scratch 3.0 itself. Okay, you want to ensure that, and that's what we're starting with for the first 4 weeks. Before next week, Tuesday, which the first class is going to be holding, I think the class is going to be holding by 6 p.m. We're also going to look at what time is convenient for everybody. I think a form should have been sent to me in that respect to have, so that we're able to check what time is common to everybody. But of course, we are looking at evening is what it's going to be. It's going to be during the week, majorly. Of course, during the week. Then, apart from the fact that it's during the week, between the hours of 6 to 8 or 6 to 7 on some occasion, just like we're having this evening. Okay, so the instructor, of course, is going to communicate this well more to us in the course of the class when you guys are engaging. And you can also both agree on the common time that makes sense. So as much as possible, we try not to make the timing fixed so that everybody can be well represented, so that nobody's saying that it's not really convenient. Great. So I'm seeing that from Unoma. So so that everybody, you don't have an excuse whatsoever. So Scratch programming, luckily, there's app inventor usually for making mobile apps, but then some of these courses are they are age prerequisites. For app inventor, usually for secondary school students, it's better for secondary school students. Primary school students may not really be able to engage very well. Okay, so secondary school and primary school may not really be able to use app inventor properly, except you have some the high primary school students. I've engaged some of them before. So our app inventor, usually from age 12 and above, or even 13. Scratch programming, there's Scratch Junior that will start from age 5. But then for us in TechBridge, virtual classes, we only accept from age 7. Because when it's online like this, if the child is young, you can lose the attention of the child very easily if he's not up to 7 years old. Of course, sometimes some parents really want it, they enforce it, we organize. In that case, it becomes a private class for the child. But then for Scratch, you can start from age 5, there's Scratch Junior, but then from age 7, you have a balanced state. There's Blockly. Blockly also kind of exposed kids. It's exposed kids to, you can, through Blockly, get a child into Python programming. All right, get a child into Python programming. You can also do your own background study about some of these courses before the class finally begins. Okay, but then Blockly can be very easy. It's a block-based, as it was sound. Blockly, both Scratch and Blockly are block-based programming for kids. They are visual-driven, they are graphics, so they are really easy for kids to get along to start coding with. Minecraft also. There is web programming, HTML and CSS. Some of us know about this. They are text. These are text-based programming languages. All right. They are text-based. Python programming itself. Arduino is that's under robotics. Okay, so they are Arduino-driven projects. In robotics, they are very core components. There's a controller. There's okay, you're going to be doing this so that I don't dive into trying to explain robotics. But then there's Arduino, there's microbits, there's okay, for coding, there's Codable. Codable is also for very young children from a very young age, from as low as age 5 to start learning Codable. But then Codable itself is a company, all right, and then they also offer other programming courses, just like Thinker also, all right. So these are some of the top courses that kids usually do. So of course, by now you will be already aware. You are already aware of the courses and learning track. The first 1 week is going to be Scratch programming. The class is starting next week Tuesday. All right. I expect that by now everybody's already added to Google Classroom. So from this evening, the instructors are going to be sending messages to us based on peculiarities. If some didn't send message today, it doesn't mean that they're default. But then between now and next week, so that you can be there. But I expect that now everybody's already on the Google Classroom. So after the first 1 week where you're going to be doing Scratch, you have 3 more weeks where you can't do the 2 at the same time. You can't do the 2, you're only doing 1. Because you can't even finish 1 in the 3 weeks. But then you are going to be able to get the fundamentals required to get you started and to get you going. All right. And of course, if you do well in the program, it's not ending after the 4 weeks, it's a continuum. All right. So what that means is that, of course, you can really, how many times per week do we have lessons? Okay. At least 3 times. 3 times, which is going to be divided into 1 hour each. Then the last day, 2 hours. I'm going to be expatiating on that after this. So after the first 4 weeks, where you're going to be learning Scratch or web programming, as the case may be, or Python programming, depending on the group that you belong to, there's going to be another extra 2 weeks thereafter for robotics. But then, like I said, for the robotics kit, you can begin to get your funds ready. If you are going to be participating in robotics, you need a robotics kit. You need a robotics kit to participate. You also want to do it as a business to also be selling to parents or people around you. You can also get your funds ready. All of the details will be shared to you after the 4 weeks. Okay, the cost ranges from 25,000. But for instructors, I think we may be selling at 20,000, from 20,000, depending on the size, depending on the constituents. Every of these things are going to be clearly reviewed. Depending on the constituent, depending on the size, from as low as 20,000 to as much as 60,000. Of course, there are even robotics kits that are way more costlier. We have a 3D printer, for instance, that I think we bought around 250,000. And that was when dollar was how much was dollar? So that's like double right now. So of course, there are robotics kits that are way expensive. So, but then of course you want to start with what you can actually start with to learn with. So you are starting with something not so expensive. And then also, as much as possible, since we are buying it in bulk, we are also going to be cutting down on the prices. It's okay. So, of course, in the course of the classes, we're going to be coming back to take details of those people who are interested in participating in robotics and on. Then, beyond this course, of course, we're going to also be introducing you to Grok Learning. Grok Learning is a partner company. We're going to be signing you up as a verified, certified instructor on their platform. We're going to be signing you up on their platform. Okay, and the implication of that is that during summer, when we have a pool, there's usually a pool of students in summer, you can easily be an assistant to students. And of course, you can also enroll students on the platform and get paid for it. Okay, and get paid for it. And then what else? Yeah, so other details will be shared. We are going to a section with Grok Learning to the date and time will be communicated. All right, I think right now I'm almost done. Okay, I think I've said this and overemphasized it, that you need time, you need to be prepared to learn, you need to be ready to also do projects. You also need to be able to work with your colleagues. You need to be able to get ready to work with other people. There's no Google Classroom. Remember, even this CSIP program is beyond 4 weeks. It is beyond 6 weeks. What we're trying to do is we're trying to create impact. The vision is beyond need a team. We need strong collaboration. So if you have other skills and you're on this team, you have probably you're even a social media marketer or your marketing guru, as it were, or you have a network that you can leverage on, or there's something that there's a value that you can really pull up that can really help to some of these things we are trying to push on beyond just the instructor part of it. Of course, you can also always, so that we can really see what we have done in the past, and then it becomes easy for us to be able to know if the opportunities will feed us in it. With this, I think it will be the right time to stop. Once again, my name is Bayo Debionke, and I appreciate our coming today. This time, I'd like to take questions. If there are questions, please let's come up with our questions right, and yeah, and then we can call it a good night. So do we have questions about timing? I think we have, I earlier had one of the instructors here. Okay, I think he's out. Okay, please go ahead and ask your question.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Yeah, my question is about the first one. I have 2 questions. The first one is about the upcoming programs. Will the programs take place in other states concurrently? That's really programs. I say whether the programs will be running concurrently, the upcoming programs in other states apart from Lagos.
Of course, it's going to be running concurrently in other states apart from Lagos. And take note that we're also going to be really leveraging on virtual learning. All right, we're going to be leveraging on virtual learning. The Grok Learning platform that we are leveraging on is also e-learning. So we're going to be signing us up as a teacher on those platforms. But then, of course, for other states, for instance, we have individuals who have the capacity of creating partnerships that bring the beyond just virtual or then it makes sense. But then, of course, at the moment, we're going to be having more virtual training models than physical. Of course, the physical too is a very crucial point, and that's why school partnership is important. So if you're able to get a school sign up, what happens is that the school location, of course, becomes the center where the students in the school are learning. You're able to get a church who is interested in something like this, their church becomes. Is my network still breaking? Oh.
Hello?
Hello, can we hear me now? Is it better now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, great. So, so like I said, so we're going to be having physical engagement through those partnership models. And then you also have the capacity of having a physical space, probably depending on your capacity. Of course, we can partner and you become a franchise in that state, in that respect. But then those are going to, the models to that, or how the way we react to that are going to be properly discussed after the training period.
Okay,
and
thank you.
I think
Like,
I needed to also.
question is about like.
Okay, sorry. I needed to also say this, that usually a number of people ask questions about the training why it's virtual. So I want to also say that we're also trying as much as possible to ensure that, because we have had people who study in Canada, who are in UK, Nigerians who even relocated to those countries, who are looking for STEM educators for their kids and want people to teach that. Of course, you can't do a physical class with just because they are not in your location. But of course, they're also part of the target audience, because irrespective of how you look at it, whatever we're going to be charging here in Nigeria is probably divided by 4 of what they are charging them to get the same service in their own country. So it just makes sense for them. All right. So very soon we are going to be diving into those networks more deeply. And then why it makes sense for you to have training virtually is that at that point it's not something totally new, because you even learned virtually in the first place. So if you're teaching online too, it's very, very easy for you to carry out. Okay, you can go on with the second question now.
Yeah, the second question is about like I was doing some research within the week, so I really wanted to know the difference between STEM and STEAM. Like the difference in the sense that if someone should ask me now, why is it that I'm concentrating only on STEM and removing the A? So I want to get that background knowledge.
Okay, very, very important, very, very good question. STEM is science, technology, engineering, mathematics. The A is arts. They are almost the same thing. Beyond STEAM, which has A, I think there's another one. I'm trying to remember now. But then the real meaning, or what the goal of all these nomenclatures are driving at, is still the same. All right. Usually there are issues like you are just mentioning science, engineering, and mathematics. Are you throwing out arts? Are you saying that those of us that did English or literature or drama, are we saying that we are not part of this thing? So, of course, but then beyond that too, we are also seeing the side of beauty. When you look at the human brain, we have the left hemisphere, we have the right hemisphere. The left hemisphere is a little biological. The right hemisphere is a little bit more beauty oriented. All right. So, for instance, even in fact, we are going to be seeing feats such as UI UX design. You're going to be seeing even beyond that. You're going to be seeing design. All right. So, talking about how to visualize a problem, and then through that visualization, you're able to now solve problems. So, what I'm trying to say is that either STEM or STEM, don't be confused. We are still doing the same thing.
Okay.
Yes, so you are covered. Okay. So it just depends. There are different nomenclatures. STEM is a little bit more popular, but STEAM is also driving. Is also becoming popular right now. So whichever of the two that comes along, you're in you are in the cover. You are in the know. The goal at the end of the day is the whole experiential learning method that helps a child to see a problem and then, of course, take knowledge and solve that problem creatively. I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get it, sir. I understand.
Cool.
Because I wanted that clarification. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, do we have another question? I think somebody was talking about time.
Hello, sir.
Hello, sir. Good evening,
sir.
Good evening.
Yeah, I want to ask a question. I say after undergoing this program, right? Let's say I opt for the Python programming. Would it be possible that at the end of the program, I'm able to teach Python programming to even adults, aside aside kids?
So this is it. After the program, or even in the course of the program, the level of what you know is more dependent on you also.
Okay.
So are you able to teach adults? Yes, but of course you may need to do some further studying. But are you having the resources to get that happen? Yes. Do you get it? So it's up to you. Of course, for you to be very, very solid in Python programming, you may need up to about 120 hours of studying, 120 hours of practice, 120 hours of learning. And of course, you never stop at that 120 hours. It's continuous. It's a continuum. When you say skill, probably I needed to do some explanation. While while having a skill, acquiring a skill is different from acquiring a certificate. Is that skill you develop yourself with time? All right, number of hours you're able to commit to it, to do that stuff over and over and over again by practice is what determines if you are good in it. But certificate, you can go to school by a period of time, write an exam, pass it, and then you are given the certificate. Do you get it? So are you able to teach adults after this program? Yes. But then that is now dependent on what you're also able to make out of the period of the learning. How you are now able to also take that forward to ensure that beyond what you are taught in class, you're also able to immerse time in practicing and also getting other stuffs that will help you to sit well with it. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes. So, and I want us to note this because there's usually people have a lot of problem in this respect, and that's why you see some people are just more focused on certificates. Skill, especially in the tech space, is more dependent on what you can do. Yeah. Right. Yeah. It depends on the problems you can solve and how well you can solve them. So, what you want to really put concentration on is, can I really know this stuff? All right. And then, how can I really practice? How can I put time, commit time to ensure that I do it over and over and over again and go beyond what I'm even given? All right. So that's very, very crucial. Once you know it and you can do it, I don't want to say sky's the limit, but that's where the cocoa is.
Thank you very much.
Yes, Victor. Victor, you seem to have a question.
Yes, I have a question. Thank you. So my first question is, you told us about a learning platform that when we are done, that can also help us in advancing our learning, that you have a partnership with. So I just wanted to ask how that will work, and for how long will they allow you on that platform? On are we going to be paying another fee to them? And maybe a few advantage about what you can gain from that platform. That's number one. So number two is the timetable. So I don't know if we can get the timetable earlier, so that it can allow us know how to plan our time to attend. Then number three is around the area of projects. Are we going to be onboarded for live projects towards the end? And I don't know, is there any mentoring opportunity, a kind of network we are building, so that it won't just be like most of these motivational trainings or seminar, and then you leave and then you don't really practice what you do, what you learned? Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Victor, for the question. I'm not sure if you joined early, Did you join from the beginning?
Sorry, I joined a bit late. We had a meeting at the office today. So by the time we were done with that meeting, I came in a bit late.
Okay, okay. So why I was
Yes.
asking that is, if you had joined earlier, I think I did mention that even as much as at the beginning. And why I did that was so that we can actually have sorry, I'm trying to screen grab the meeting so that we can have a record of it. Just give me a minute to do that. Okay, so like I was saying, we did mention that at the beginning, but first and foremost, your question, that's why I would have loved to take it one after the other. So, but then, are there going to be practice? Are there going to be opportunity to practice this after the class? Yes. After the 4 weeks period, like we said, is continuing. We're adding you to our education network, and more beyond this. Also, we're going to be engaging. We're going to be engaging people beyond this program. Okay. So, because as a matter of fact, we are also scaling our own effort through this. All right. Why one way or the other you have paid is so that we can be clear of those people who are really, really interested. We could have made it free. We could have hired instructors in, but then we want to be sure of those people who are really interested and who are not just passerby. All right. But then having committed to this program, I can tell you for sure that we are going to be getting beyond what you are paid for. Okay. As much as possible, we're going to be trying our best, and then we're going to be working together to make that happen. And it also depends on you. So, of course, you may have to probably watch the video from the beginning again, so that you can see where I mentioned some things about the expectations, what to expect. I did mention what to expect in this program. I mentioned the fact that at the end of it, there's going to be group projects. All right, there's going to be a group project that you guys are going to engage in. There's going to be a community drill. There's going to be a school drill. They're going to be engaging in our summer programs. As a matter of fact, and that's why assessment is going to be part of it. We're going to be assessing people who want to be able to show who has the capacity to really communicate properly, who has the ability to teach, who is really driven. As in, you are giving a project or assignment, you are not coming back tomorrow and saying that, sorry, throughout the day I was very busy, I couldn't really do part of night. So we want to be sure. So there's going to be assessment. Concerning our partner, Grok Learning, we are going to be signing you up, because partaking in this training means you are already a verified instructor and that you are part of Tech Bridge. Okay, so we are going to be onboarding you on the platform. On what opportunity that gives you is that on all the courses that are on the platform, as a teacher, you have the ability to go through everything for free. All right, so that as long as you are a teacher, as long as we say you are verified, as long as you say you are not off route. Okay, so because we are going to be organizing competitions, we are going to be doing a lot of stuff together, and then it's going to be together with those people who are verified, who are working with us together to achieve the vision.
The last question was on the timetable.
At the end of the training, also, we're going to be communicating our remuneration model. Of course, we are not going to be getting you guys in as a full-time staff, except some really exceptional ones. And if there is space, of course, there are people who will come in full-time. But then beyond full-time, we're going to be engaging. We're going to be engaging you as how do I put it now? We're going to be engaging on the part-time level, just like we have in the model of Uber, all this Taxify and all of that. So when we have private students who are coming in requesting for instructors, we assign them to you, all right? And then we take off a commission on the class. When you also have students who are coming in, if you want them to be able to partake in our programs going forward, because there are going to be a lot of benefits for children who are participating in our stores, you are ensuring that you are sending them up through our program too. But then that gives you more value. But then all of those are going to be clearly explained to us at the beginning. Let's not put the cart before the horse. What's the correct way? So you get details about that at the end of training. Yeah.
All right, thank you. Yeah, I was asking about the timetable. That we had two different tracks. That so the timetable is will the timetable be sent to us officially so that
I can
we
assure
can plan
I can assure you
next
that you get the timetable officially. You get the timetable before. The head of training is also here. Babatunde is here right away. He's hearing you. So we talk to his team, get the right time available, and put it in a PDF, and then you guys will get it within the next 24 hours.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
So I hope everybody's on the WhatsApp group. I think usually communication is very easy. New communication is easy through WhatsApp. So that we are going to send you your email, but of course, we also notify your WhatsApp.
WhatsApp. All right. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome.
One last one, sir. I have a complaint. When I opened what was shared as the syllabus on my Google Drive, it appears one of the syllabus was I don't know, maybe encrypted, or I don't know. I could see stuff like codes. It didn't come out like what could be readable. But I saw Python, introduction to Python. When I opened that one, all I saw were just characters that are not readable. I don't know, maybe it was done in error or it was encrypted or what, I don't know.
Do we have any other person who has that experience?
Because it was in a zip file. I downloaded it using the zip extract. One was one opened up, which talked about Python, showing hours and some other content. So the other one, I tried to open it. I did that 3 times. All I saw were just characters that were not readable. So I was like, maybe I would bring it up and then know if there's something I didn't do well. But for one to have opened and the other one not be readable, I think something is wrong somewhere. I don't know. Maybe you can ask if anybody have accessed the syllabus that was sent to our mail, and if they experience the same thing.
Okay, guys, please, do we have any other person who has that experience?
Well, I've not. I opened mine, but when I opened mine, it took me directly to my Google Drive. I think they uploaded it on Google Drive also.
Yes, it's
so
on
I
Google
didn't.
Drive.
So I didn't really download and unzip as he's saying, and so I've not had the issue. Maybe I'll just take time later tonight to go through the pages. I've not gone through the pages, but I opened it and I found out that I have 3 ebooks there, but I've not gone through. So and it's on Google Drive. So I don't know how he had to download his own like a zip file. I don't know yet. Yes.
It's actually on the Google Drive, and you are not expecting to have that problem. I'm thinking probably something peculiar to your. You may need to check one or two things, but then if that problem persists, you can let us know on WhatsApp so that probably it can be sent to you in another format.
No problem. Thank you, sir.
Yes. Okay. I want to use
this medium to can be shared via WhatsApp. Yeah.
You said?
I said, or possibly the PDFs can just be downloaded in WhatsApp. These some people are having issue accessing files.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everyone. It's really nice to have you in. And officially, I want to welcome you to the Certified STEM Instructors Program, Class A of 2021. I want to congratulate everybody who finally made it in. I'm sure that this is going to be a great value addition to you, and not just only to you, but to our continent. So I want to say welcome, and it's a really nice pleasure talking to you this night. I wish you a very good night. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
All right, bye everyone.
Guys, before we go, please, really it makes sense if we have people's video on. Just 1 minute.
Yeah, you guys turn on your video camera. Try to take pictures.
Let's take pictures. Let's mark this. If you can have your video on, guys, let's make it happen.
All right.
Yeah. So at the count of, I'll be doing it at the count of 1, 2, and 3. So I still have people who have not, who their videos are not on. Josh, Messi, Babatunde, Ejeye, Sorry if I didn't pronounce very well. But then if you can take the video on right now. 1, 2, and 3. Thank you, everyone. Taking. Really nice having you here tonight. Have a very good night. Thanks.
All right. Bye, everyone. Hope to get
Bye.
to know you all. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Also have a good time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah. Great night. Bye.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Bye.
You know,
Hello, Babatunde. Please wait. Wait, Babatunde. Okay, so I think let's talk on WhatsApp. I'll call you on WhatsApp.